Hello, everybody. My name is Ani Munira. I am from ATLAS.ti Malaysia.com. In today's video, I would like to share with you the concept of doing literature review using ATLAS.ti. Now, ATLAS.ti is a very powerful software which belongs to the group of computer-aided qualitative data analysis software. So, uh, the main point is, so long you have data in the form of qualitative, then ATLAS.ti is a suitable software that can help you to analyze the contents of it. Okay, based on that understanding, now we know that all researchers will need to go through the process of doing literature reviews, be them undergraduates, graduate students, postgraduate students, or postdoctoral students for that matter. Now, all researchers will need to go through the process of doing literature reviews regardless their research methodology. Why do I say that? It's because if a researcher is conducting qualitative research or quantitative research or triangulation between qualitative and quantitative, he or she will still need to go to the process of literature review, and their literatures are in the form of qualitative. For example, a book, journal articles, government reports, newspaper cuttings, whatever literatures in the format of qualitative. Right. Now, how do we then synchronize between doing literature reviews with ATLAS.ti? Okay. Now, I would like to share my screen now. It's a very short PowerPoint presentation on the concept of doing literature review. So, I suppose the screen is now showing a PowerPoint slide. So, as you can see on the screen, we can imagine that we have 4 journal articles that we want to go through for the purpose of our literature reviews. Right. Now, in real life, there will not be 4. In real life, there will be hundreds or maybe reaching thousands. But for the purpose of this demo here, I just want to show you 4 sample journal articles. So what are we going to do when we want to start reading? Now imagine if we start reading, we use the traditional method of reading through the literatures. Now we will hold the paper in one hand, and the other hand we will be using a highlighter to highlight specific segments of the text that we find to be relevant for our research. And we will use a pencil or a pen to scribble down on the right hand side of that document. For example, we do a blue highlighting to indicate that this is a concept, okay, a concept to education maybe, and we're going to repeat the same process for the other literatures as well. Okay, at the end of the day, we're going to get something like this. There are 3 parts from our 3 set of literatures that talks about the same thing, which is the concept of education. Now, moving on to the next concepts. For example, we can have red color highlighting for problems, green color highlighting for solution, yellow color highlighting for suggestions maybe. Okay, at the end of the day, we are going to have 4 journal articles full of highlightings, which we as the researcher have gone through that literatures, and we have decided that these are the relevant parts of our research. Now that is how we will do things manually, traditionally. Now what happens when we want to write these relevant segments into our research report? It could be an assignment, it could be a dissertation, or it could be a thesis. It could simply be any research report that we want to do on the literature review segment. Okay, we're going to take about concept, this part talks about problem, and this part talks about solution. We're going to put down article number 1 and pick up article number 2 and do exactly the same thing. Okay, at the same time, we will open our Microsoft Word document or Word editor, and we will type in whatever information that we have. Okay, now 4 documents shouldn't be a problem, but the problem will start to emerge when we have more than 4. tens, we can have hundreds or thousands, we will start to lose track. We will start to figure out, oh no, I cannot remember, where have I read this before? Have I downloaded this article before? If we don't have a proper system, then it's going to be a problem. Now, I wish to introduce to you how to do literature review using ATLAS.ti. Now, this video is very short. It's showing on the concept only. If you follow our channel, I will be adding more videos from time to time. Right, coming back to the concept of doing literature reviews. Now, we no longer print our articles. Instead, we will save these articles in soft copy format, and we will add them to the ATLAS.ti project. Okay. When we want to start reading, we will essentially do highlighting using our computer's cursor. We no longer use the traditional highlighter, because a traditional highlighter can be used manually or traditionally. This one is in soft copy, so it makes sense to use the mouse, okay, the computer's cursor. And exactly the same thing, we will replicate the process of traditional reading, okay, if we do it traditionally, and reading in ATLAS.ti is still the same. Okay, now I wish to prevent the notion of understanding that ATLAS.ti will cut short the reading process. No, it's totally not true. Okay, because ATLAS.ti does not cut short the reading process. Instead, it will simplify the management of the literatures and management of important points. So, as I was saying, we replicate that process. So in ATLAS.ti, I will still do the same thing. We do this highlighting, but we will put a tagging to it, a label to it. We call it as coding in ATLAS.ti. We will put a specific code to this paragraph for concept of education. We will put a specific code of problem to this segment of the text, and this last segment of the text, we will put it the code of suggestion. Okay, and we will repeat the same process for the other ones. Now, the difference between reading traditionally and reading in ATLAS.ti is this. Traditionally, when you do the highlighting and you will write on the right hand side, that's it. But when you do it in ATLAS.ti, the moment you do the highlighting, it will go into the memory of ATLAS.ti, which ATLAS.ti will start to remember from which documents and from which what is the particular highlighting that we have done. We call it as quotations in ATLAS.ti. Now, you do one highlighting, ATLAS.ti remembers. You do 100 highlighting, ATLAS.ti remembers. You do thousands and thousands of hightings, ATLAS.ti will remember from which document that you did the highlighting and for which particular code that you did that highlighting. And at the end of the day, for example, say we want to write on a specific code, we will give instructions to ATLAS.ti to create an output. Okay, so as you can see on the right side of this presentation, this is an example output from ATLAS.ti 7, which has been arranged based on codes or based on themes automatically generated from within the software itself. This is not copying and pasting from our documents, from our literatures. Instead, this is giving instructions to ATLAS.ti to retrieve for us everything that we have highlighted from all of our documents for each and every one of our codes and compile them into one location only, which is a Microsoft Word document. Okay, now this output can be created in ATLAS.ti within a few seconds only, depending on the capacity of our computer's processor. Okay, and having this output in hand is already a compilation of all the highlighted segments of each and every one of our codes from all of our documents. Now, I would say this is a magical feature which ATLAS.ti can provide us. Okay? It has helped me in my research, and it has helped a lot of my friends for their research, and I highly recommend you, the viewers of this video, to try out doing literature reviews using ATLAS.ti. And we don't just stop there. Having the output in our hand, we can use another feature in ATLAS.ti, we call it as the network views, to start to make sense of our of our literature reviews. Now, we can have them visually. For example, the concept will further lead on with the arrow blue in color to the problem red in color, and the problem will further lead on to the suggestions, okay, green in color, and finally the purple in color. It will help us to come up with proper suggestions to the policymakers, for example, for a specific subject matter that we are doing. Now, this is a very easy example of a network view that can be generated in ATLAS.ti 7. Okay, that's it for my sharing in this very short video. For more updates, because I'll be adding in more videos in future, particularly for the purpose of using or maximizing the use of ATLAS.ti for our research purpose. Please click on the subscribe to YouTube channel Ani Munira below of this video. Please subscribe to us so you'll be notified when I have new videos. Right? I also invite you to like our Facebook page. You just type in ATLAS.ti in Malaysia, and you will be shown one page. Okay, so you just like our Facebook page to keep knowing about our updates. Please also follow our Twitter page at Ani Munira. And please also follow our Google Plus page, ATLAS.ti in Malaysia. Okay, so that's it what I want to share with you. I'll just retrieve this back. Alright. Okay, alright, so that's it for my sharing today. Thank you for viewing this very short video. A lot more videos such as this one will come out, and I'll be very happy to have you join our subscription list. Okay, alright, so thank you very much. I will see you next time.